I'd like to call to order the Westmont Village Board meeting of September 21st, 2023, to order at 6 o'clock p.m. and ask Clerk Simsky for a roll call, please.
Mayor Gunter?
Here.
The clerk's here. Trustee Barker?
Here.
Trustee Brady?
Yeah, here.
Trustee Guzzo?
Here.
Trustee Little?
Here.
Trustee Nero?
Here.
Is Trustee Simonovich?
Absent. Absent tonight.
Okay, thank you. Manager May?
Here.
Assistant Village Manager Parker?
Here. Could everybody please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I'd like to welcome everyone. We move on to the open forum. I have one request to talk during open forum. And again, if there's anybody else here, got an item on the agenda, you'll have an opportunity to say something. If it's not on the agenda, this is a time to address the board. But we have Suzanne Hodges wants to talk about railroad crossing for pedestrians. You get to go up to the microphone.
Really, I want to hear, I'd like to hear more than I speak. Taking the metro all the time, and I know the crosswalk has been removed, and it's my understanding it won't be coming back. I know the sidewalk is closed, that's what the sign says, and I'm sure you know that many people are crossing there, and it concerns me. And for those who aren't as mobile, and when the snow comes and the rain, it can be a long walk to Cass Avenue. And it's a little crowded on the back two cars, like in my recent experience. I know I read there was talk of an overpass or a walkway. So I just really wanted to kind of hear an update, what you're doing and maybe in concert with Metro for safety and how far I'll need to walk in the winter in the snow as I'm a little longer in the tooth. That's it. Just want to get an update.
And the manager is our transportation expert. He's been dealing with Metro. So
Right.
I'll
It
let
doesn't
him.
have anything to do with
No, I know,
transportation
I know.
knowledge. And I need to qualify open forum in general first. It's an opportunity for you or anybody or the public to offer your comment on anything you want to share with the village board that is not on the agenda. Not being on the agenda, it is not an item for discussion, debate, or resolution. But with that said, I know a lot of the parts that you're asking about, so I can offer that for everybody, but the village board won't weigh in. The pedestrian crosswalk that was in there, first of all, it was not the Village of Westmont that removed it. It is a BNSF railroad right-of-way, of which they have the jurisdiction, and Metra has, I don't know if it's an agreement or a license, but they have an arrangement to run commuter traffic on the BNSF line with under certain parameters. And some of those parameters are the condition of the depot, the condition of the platforms, the condition of everything else. There is a large, very large plan for total platform reconstruction. And when I say there is a plan, there's been a plan for, a decade. But we're very close. There's funding, there's federal funding available. It's in design, and this is something that could occur as early as next year, the platform reconstruction. As part of the design and approval to do the platform reconstruction, all the track work you see is a requirement of BNSF, of Metra, that BNSF is doing before the platform work's done, because it's more difficult for them to do it after the platform work is done. They had to take the crossing out to do the track replacement, and I could talk all night, about this. You'll notice that it's concrete railroad ties, so they're building complete sections, it's all new rail and new ties, and they're doing all three lines, and that's why the trespass fence is not up. And they know that, but it's their project, their liability, their line, their gig. So when that came out, because the platform was being reconstructed and that's being touched, it was a BNSF determination that cannot go back in. And they just ruled that, and that, it's BNSF, it's FRA, Federal Railroad Authority, there's just a lot of entities involved, and that's just been their policy. There's been work on other depots, other commuter facilities, that if you don't touch the crosswalk, they'll leave it in indefinitely, but as soon as it needs attention to come out. Oh, another thing is the platform reconstruction, platform height has to be at some fixed height, I don't know the dimension, above the top of rail for handicap access in and out of a car. You can't have an handicap accessible crosswalk, that has a 6-inch step on each end. So that was all part of it. And then if there's a good news, through our participation or complaining about the removal, Metra is adding the engineering design for an alternative, which would either be an overpass or an underpass pedestrian. It won't necessarily be at the same spot. Is it necessarily at the depot? There's just a lot of different options, but they're doing the engineering design under the caveat that they've got no intention of paying for the construction of it because it's not their business. So I got free engineering design work, but until we find somebody to pay for it, you're talking about a bridge over or a tunnel under. And so that's the status for everybody that's listening.
Well, thank you for the information. I appreciate that. I may be retired before that comes, but it is, as I say, nobody wants anybody hurt. My comment, I didn't put it on the list, but I really like these placards. If it could just be a little bigger font next time, I could read it. That's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. At this point, I'll close our open forum, move on to reports. My report is first. I have a couple items. Our sister city update. The Village of Westmont will participate in the Taiwanese National Day event in downtown Chicago on October 6th. This is an annual event in which the Village of Westmont shows support for our local Taiwanese community. Dementia-friendly Westmont. The Westmont Library continues to host their dementia-friendly programs that supports persons with dementia and their caregivers. More information can be found on the Westmont Library website. A couple of weeks ago, I got an opportunity to tour a new facility, a new office, and it's Stella. Stella is an organization that provides care for people experiencing emotional trauma and mental health challenges. They have about 30 locations across the USA and recently opened the first Chicago area office in Westmont at 1 East Oak Hill Drive. And we want to welcome Stella to Westmont. It's a beautiful facility, and I'd like to call up the Chief Medical Officer who's with us tonight to share some additional insights about Stella. All yours.
Thank you very much for having me. So, this is Karen. She's our amazing psychological nurse practitioner. So we work as a team. So what makes us different, there's many psychological offices and clinics all over the globe. So I was fortunate enough to come up with a new treatment using biological method, which is an injection in the neck to turn off PTSD. And for example, today we treated 4 people from special forces from various places. One of them was from Canada. So we actually bring in some very interesting people. So there is medical tourism, so to speak, associated. I used to be a trauma surgeon in county, and one of the things that I really became very cognizant about is the trauma and psychiatric impact of trauma on the body in first responders, like police, firefighters, and people like that. So we want to be a good partner with that, and we want to be accessible for that, because it's definitely, and you'll see as the time goes by, actually I'm trying to change the name PTSD to PTSI, post-traumatic stress injury. So we actually have at least I think we as Stella, we're a global company and we'd like to have a global footprint. So it's kind of interesting that we're here. That's all I have. What do you think?
Really quick in 3 minutes. So just as Dr. Lipoff said, this is actually our first flagship. We have physicians that are trained under Dr. Lipoff in 30 different locations throughout the country. But being here, Dr. Lipoff, we decided to choose Chicago to be our first Stella-owned. Oh, sorry. Chicago area, sorry. We chose, and we purposely did come out of the city for that reason, and so we did look outside of the city, not wanting to be downtown anymore. Both he and I were previously affiliated with some of the major universities, and we chose an outside location and chose Westmont for several different reasons, but we are the first freestanding Stella flagship office, and so we've now opened in New York, DC, but Westmont was our first location, and so we completely operate out of there. We have procedure rooms. We provide the injection that Dr. Lipoff spoke about and we gave handouts for, but we also provide psychiatric assessments, evaluations, treatment, other than just the stellate block. We provide ketamine services, and probably about 70% of our work right now is devoted to veteran populations, special operations, operators who come in, police, fire, a lot of first responders, but certainly we treat many people who've had traumas of different sorts as well. So it's not specific to those people, but those are the ones that we find ourselves treating most frequently because they're identified as post-traumatic
The other thing I
stress.
wanted to add is, most people think PTSD is most common in military population. That's actually not true. Factor of 5 or 10 more are abused women, survivors of rapes and things like that. So somewhere in Westmont, there's people like that. So we'd like them to at least know we exist. We're gonna have a fundraiser coming up in November, but we're not pitching asking for the money for we have a non-for-profit that's sister to our organization. But basically, if there are like groups who are interested, I think would be available to speak to those groups, at least so there is hope. Like, I don't know who came up with this bracelet, but I think that's brilliant. Like, I started
It's right behind you.
Right behind you, those ladies.
so I just started a podcast. It's called Brain, Hope, Reality. Without hope, there's no life. So people who have been traumatized, and they've tried everything under the sun. That's why we've had people come to see me from New Zealand, right? So people are looking for something different. But it's not the same old thing. It's not common to the same thing. No, we're very different. So,
Treatment-oriented
Right.
versus more medications.
and
more
results
things,
oriented.
yes,
It's kind of
yes.
helpful.
So,
Welcome.
Thank you
Welcome.
for having us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're
Your
welcome to
office
visit
was
anytime.
Beautiful. What was in there before? You took the place?
It was like a law office, or it
Or
was some
or
sort of.
engineering firm, something like that.
Yeah,
Definitely
it
not
was-
medical.
Yeah.
We
Recently had like an open house ribbon cutting
Yes.
with the chamber. It was
Yeah, it was a-
impressive facility. A lot of our public safety attended that as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Good. Well, thank you and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks
so
for
much.
having us.
Thank you. Thank you.
And that's all I have. I'll move to Clerk Simsky.
And the only thing I have to report is that village offices will be closed October 9th, so.
Okay. Thank you. Trustee Nero, Public Works Committee.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, just a few items today. We had a Public Works Committee meeting before our board meeting tonight, so just wanted to recap a few big updates. We reviewed our updated school walk route maps, a couple projects that we're working on with some grant funding. We also talked about the next Phase 2 downtown streetscape project that will be postponed until 2025, just so we can kind of get everything caught up here in that area as far as the construction goes. And then lastly, we talked about the fire department facility, just kind of at a high level on a lot of reoccurring maintenance issues and some items that we need to address and potentially look at maybe expansion, renovation, or even replacement. So look forward to getting some updates on that from staff. And then we heard from the whole team on all different updates as far as facilities and street and water, some kind of neat updates just for the public. You might notice a few buildings that have been demoed, but Tune Funeral's down, 21 North Lincoln's been demoed, and just almost finished 13 to 21 Burlington's almost down. So we'll make that look a lot nicer with some grass for the interim, and appreciate everybody's patience with those projects. Couple more items. Feel like this is the one that gets me every year, but it's back again. Free leaf pickup. As a part of a contract with the Village of Westmont and Waste Management. There'll be free leaf collection November 6th and ending on Friday, December 1st, Residents are allowed to put out unlimited craft paper bags and leaves free of charge next to their garbage on their regularly scheduled pickup day. Please do not rake your leaves into the street, as we all know that can affect our proper drainage and maybe even some safe driving issues as well.
Or plastic bags.
Or plastic bags are allowed, yeah, exactly. Let's see, another update, BNSF project update, Cass Avenue Railroad Crossing will be closed on September 30th for track improvements, and additionally, the Westmont train station will be closed on both Saturday and Sunday, the 30th and the 1st of October. So that's it for Public Works. Just a couple other updates I just want to share. Last Friday, there was an Illinois Special Olympics police, it was the first inaugural golf outing, and although it's an Illinois event, it really felt like it was a Westmont event, and it was an honor to be there and participate and all that, but it was real cool to see Westmont kind of leading the charge and all the people that were there, and it's a testament to our police department, and really the entire village was involved on some level, and just an awesome experience, but specifically Sergeant Weebler, who's not here tonight, but he busted his tail on that outing, and what an awesome job, and again, what an honor to see that happen. And it just goes without saying. I mean, we have a lot of solid teammates in this organization that go above and beyond, and even to the DuPage Fire Chiefs, where our chief's still pretty involved, coordinating that with all the different departments for an outing this past week, and that's good stuff. Westmont's on the map, and it's kind of nice to see that our teammates being the leaders of those events. So thanks to everybody that put those on. It's fun to participate, but it's kind of nice to see Westmont running them, and it always hasn't been that way, so I love seeing that. And last but certainly not least, I just wanted to mention an update for the board. The mayor asked me to participate yesterday on a quick tour at Oak Brook Hills. The PGA Tour was in town looking at a few different hotels for a potential host facility for the President's Club in 2026, and Oak Brook Hills is a finalist. They'll decide within a few months, but we rolled out the red carpet along with Willowcrest or Oak Brook Hills, and as well as our friends at DuPage CBVD, which I thought did a great job. And I think we look pretty good, to be honest. We have a real unique facility, and it's an awesome resort. Boy, that would be great. But with the mayor's support, he's going to be doing a nice follow-up letter and reaffirming the commitment from the village's standpoint, and how potentially we could participate and maybe roll out that red carpet for them, should they choose the hotel. So enough on that, more to come. Everybody say a prayer and hope they make the right decision. But I'm happy I was able to participate, Mayor, and let's just hope for the best. But that's all I have, sir. Thank you.
And again, they're looking at their headquarters where they also would house all their professionals and caddies, so they'd use the whole hotel.
Yeah, they
as
rent the
their
whole thing out.
Whole thing out, so.
It'd be unbelievable.
Bring a lot of revenue to Westmont. So Trustee Barker, Environmental Improvement Committee and Westmont first.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to comment, 2 golf stories from Trustee Nero, and he never told us how he scored, right?
Yeah. They're scrambles, so you never do bad.
Okay, all right. Anyway, the Dark Skies Contest and Grant, details for this grant program has been published on the village website. The goal is to encourage residents and businesses to embrace dark skies strategies and on their property to reduce and eliminate unnecessary light pollution. At our meeting on August 7th, we had there was much more interest in that program. Now we're starting to pick up some momentum there. The marketing's getting out there, and there's more and more conversation about it, so that's all a win for that. Electronics recycling and more special recycling event is in the commuter lot across from Village Hall here, and that event is scheduled for this Saturday, September 23rd from 8 to noon, and there's more details on the village website. And then that is a couple of vendors now, and we were able to reorganize that and traffic flow and everything, and it's taken care of by some very dedicated EIC volunteers and EMA. So we're looking forward to a great event. That is all. Thank you.
And thank you. And we'll move to Trustee Little, Administration and Finance Committee Chair.
Thank you, Mayor. Our next Administration Finance Committee meeting will be October the 5th, 4:30, right here at Village Hall. The Wicked West Fest. Activities and events are scheduled for the entire month of October with participation from the park, District, the library, the special events, and the chamber. So see the village website for all the program details. Get out there and enjoy the holidays because the kids are going to love it. Westmont Cruising Nights recap. The final night of Westmont Cruising Nights shattered the previous attendance record with over 100 vehicles more than the previous record, which was set in the last night of 2022. The final car count was, drumroll, 596 vehicles. Thank you to all the staff and the volunteers of the Westmont Special Events who coordinate these events, as well as all the wonderful sponsors for their generous support. Also, we concluded our endless summer car show events yesterday at the Manor Care in Westmont. This program brought dozens of cool and classic cars to area senior facilities so that they could enjoy the excitement of all of our car show events as well. And then last but not least, my favorite, the Monarch Festival is this Saturday, September 23rd. The library will once again host their annual Monarch Festival. The event will be held Saturday, September 25th at 10 a.m. to noon at Ty Warner Park in the main pavilion off Burr Oak Drive. Visit the Westmont Public Library's Monarch Festival webpage for more information. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. And I do want to add that Monday night, we had our volunteer dinner recognition, and everybody who volunteers filled neat. It was completely packed, and that's a good indication this community's got volunteers. They run everything, and Trustee Barker has his volunteers, the Westmont Special Events. This town has really showed up to get involved, just like Trustee Darrell was talking about. So I want to thank them for that. Trustee Johanna Guzzo, Fire Public Safety.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The silent parade will be held on October 13th at 7 p.m. As everyone may or may not know, the silent parade was put into place to honor those who have fallen in a fire or a fallen firefighter. So please grab your flashlights. It leaves Hinsdale at 7 p.m. and it goes down Naperville Road. And so go on out and let's support our first responders in such a heartfelt and wonderful tribute. And then everyone probably knows or doesn't know, the fire department's turning 100 this year. Yay! The Westmont Fire Department is hosting their 100th anniversary on October 14th at the Johannic Fire Station, which is 6015 South Cass Avenue from 11 to 2. Come on out and help us celebrate such a wonderful and just a great time. And I also want to do a shout out to the police department. I was able to attend the dinner for the Special Olympics. My husband and I do not golf, but we made it a point to go on in and have a great dinner. So I want to do a shout out and echo Trustee Nero's comments. It was a phenomenal evening. Thanks to Sergeant Weibler and everyone who assisted. It was great. The weather was wonderful. And Illinois Special Olympics is just a great organization anyway. So I want to thank everyone for all their support with that as well. And one more thing, I just want to let everyone know, we will know the next date of our next Fire Public Safety Committee soon. So that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
And we'll turn to Trustee Brady.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Planning and Zoning Commission met on September 13th. There were two public hearings. One was a special use permit for Sky Zone, an indoor trampoline park, which will be located at 52 East Ogden Avenue. And the other is for the Maine Lab, Maine, M-A-N-E, which is a hair salon, at 15 North Cass. It previously was a hair salon in the past. The core Willowcrest residential subdivision, the developer is proposing to build single-family homes at 3500 Midwest Road, which is the Willowcrest Golf Course, has submitted concept plans that will be reviewed on October 11th at the Planning and Zoning Commission. This is a concept review only and will not require a public hearing. If the developer decides to proceed, a public hearing will be required and public notice will be required. The new plan includes 45 traditional single-family homes and 170 single-family condos. That's all, Mr. Mayor.
Well, thank you. And that just to add to that, this is something new for Westmont. The developer asked for a night without any application, just to get feedback from P&Z. So it's not it's on the agenda just for that. And I don't know if Attorney Zemanek.
This will, if this moves forward, it'll be processed most likely as a plan development, just like the previous application was. And we do have it's section 9.11 of the zoning ordinance does provide for a pre-application informal meeting with the Planning and Zoning Commission to present a concept plan. So there's no public hearing there, no public comment. Public's welcome to attend. We'll have information available on the website that the public can preview. We're going to allow the public to submit email comments if they want. And if this moves forward, as trustee said, there'll be a public hearing and the public will have the right to comment.
It's not a new, it's an existing process that we've never had
Never had
to
to
implement.
use, yeah, and we're not creating something, but we
And asked to
never had used it.
implement,
And again, we're sending out notification not to all the homeowners, but to homeowners associations that have been in contact with us, and I believe there's 5. So they'll get notice that this is going on, so they feel like they want to attend, they can, and submit questions. If they're in Westmont, yeah, it's got to be Westmont. Trustee Simonovich is not here tonight, but her Police Public Safety Committee report. The next meeting is October 19th at 4:30 here. Paper Shred fundraiser for Special Olympics is October 21st at the Police Fire Facility from 9 till 1. Drug Take-Back event, October the 18th from 10 to 2 at the Police Department in Mariano's. I do have to comment on the fundraiser for Special Olympics, phenomenal job. The only thing that our police department raises money for is Special Olympics, nothing else. And this year, that event raised over $25,000 for all the sponsors donated, all the prize, a wonderful event that is going to contribute not only to 25, but we raised money for the Cop on Top and some other things. So we're going to contribute all that for Special Olympics. So I just wanted to make sure I added that to it. And we'll move on the agenda to the consent agenda. Anyone have any items to be removed? I have 2. I'd ask that the proclamation for National Suicide Prevention Month and the proclamation for the National Women's Police Officer Day be removed from the consent agenda so we can read them separately. And I'd ask Manager May to read the remainder of the consent agenda.
Thank you. On the consent agenda this evening, starts with Village Board minutes. Board to consider approving the minutes of the Village Board meeting held August 24th, 2023. Finance ordinance, we have 2 finance ordinances. We did not have a board meeting 2 weeks ago, so the finance ordinances has both number 10 and 11. Finance ordinance number 10 in the amount of $1,703,483.21. Finance ordinance number 11, $1,871,875.56. We have 3 purchase orders. First one, Sutton Ford, $49,343 is for the replacement. The Ford 150, it's a police responder, it is the Squad 48. Next purchase order, DuPage County, Illinois, $40,493.19. This is an annual amount for ETSB, but the DUGIS record-keeping, record management system. I'm also pointing out that this is also, a purchase order for approval, but the payment is a simultaneous payment that's included in the finance ordinance that I read. Third purchase order, Axon Enterprises, $39,476.07. This is the Axon fiscal year 23 virtual reality and live streaming. This too is an simultaneous payment. Those 3 purchase orders total $129,312.26. Putting that together with finance ordinance number 10 and 11, the total is $3,704,671.03. Skipping down to proclamation for Chamber of Commerce Week, board to consider a proclamation declaring September 10th through the 16th as Chamber of Commerce Week in Westmont, Illinois, celebrating the work of the Westmont Chamber of Commerce and Tourism Bureau. Next and last, is the reduction of available Class 2 liquor licenses. Board to consider an ordinance reducing the number of available Class 2 liquor licenses by 1. And that's the consent agenda
Do I
as
have a
amended.
motion to approve as read?
Motion to approve is read. Little?
Second.
Motion made in second. Trustee Brady, any comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Little,
Yes.
trustee Brady,
Yes.
trustee Nero,
Yes.
trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Motion passes. We'll move back to the first proclamation, which is the National Suicide Prevention Month. And I'd ask Manager May to please read that proclamation.
Yes, sir. National Suicide Prevention Month proclamation, declaring September as National Suicide Prevention Month in the Village of Westmont. Whereas September is known globally as National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month and is intended to help raise the visibility of mental health resources, and whereas, according to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, suicide is the second leading cause of death among individuals between the ages of 10 through 14, the third leading cause of death for 15 through 24, and the 12th leading cause of death overall in the United States. And whereas suicidal thoughts can affect anyone regardless of age, gender, race, orientation, income level, religion, or background. And whereas Hope for the Day states that 700,000 suicides are reported each year, and each one affects hundreds of people, friends, neighbors, and family. And whereas global organizations such as Hope for the Day, national organizations, National Alliance on Mental Illness, and local organizations like Suicide Prevention Services are on the front lines of battle to open minds, save lives, and restore hope. And whereas Westmont is the same as any other community in the country, yet chooses to publicly support the idea of simply being available to one another. And whereas every member of our community should understand that throughout life's struggles, we all need the occasional reminder that we are all silently fighting our own battles. And whereas we encourage all residents to take the time to inquire as to the well-being of their family, friends, and neighbors, and to genuinely convey appreciation for their existence by any gesture they deem appropriate. And whereas we can all help prevent suicide. Therefore, be it resolved by the Village of Westmont that the month of September 2023 will be designated as Suicide Prevention Action Month in the Village of Westmont. Passed and approved this day with your approval.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Nero.
Second, Parker.
Motion been made and seconded.
We have a guest.
Yeah, I'm going to do roll call.
Okay.
We're going to ask them to, I haven't
Make
forgotten
sure it's
about
approved
you.
first.
They're here every year
Schwartz.
to make sure, yeah, Bev Schwartz, so I need a roll call, please.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Motion passes, and at this point, I invite Bev Schwartz up to the podium to talk a little bit more about it.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Like the mayor said, I'm Bev Swartz. I'm the development coordinator at Hope for the Day. So my main job, I like to say, is harassing government officials, so sorry. But yeah, so I'd just like to let you all know that because of Westmont and other communities' dedicated annual rededication to the proclamation, I was actually able to get Chicago to pass the same proclamation this year, so thank you. It was a really big step in my career, so thanks. I'm really proud of it. But I also want to let you know that you're not alone and it's okay not to be okay, and there are people to talk to. And we do have free monthly educations available on our website, both virtual and in person, so whatever fits your vibe. And we also have free bracelets and resources up at the front table and in Village Hall. So if you're ever in need of resources, feel free to come down. There's some for military veterans, first responders, if you're active duty. There's also LGBTQ plus resources and national lifelines. So whatever intersection you fit into, there's resources for you, along with how to ask for help conversation cards, understanding non-suicidal self-harm and injury, and how to just be supportive, because those are harder conversations to have, and who can't use some tips. So those are all going to be available here at Village Hall, and if you run out, just, you guys all know where to find me. I harass you every year. So yeah, I'll be here, and thank you, and remember, everyone wants to hear how you're doing.
We're very glad and honored to pass this proclamation. We had one of our own EMA officers lost a child to suicide, and I think we became more and more aware of your services and what you provide at that time. So this is the least we can do to get the word out there. So thank you.
Thank you.
You have a copy for her?
I have a copy for you, and if you want to come up, we take a quick picture.
I love a good picture.
I know.
Yes, I wasn't here just about Metro. This is the main reason. The role is mom.
It's not framed, but you do have
It's
a
okay.
proclamation, so congratulations.
Thank you.
W right in front, too.
Did my hair look good?
Well, perfect. My 3 pieces look good, okay.
Fantastic. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for all you do. Okay, moving on to the second proclamation, which is for National Women Police Officer Day. We're going to consider a proclamation declaring September 12th, 2023 as National Women Police Officer Day in the Village of Westmont. And this time, I'm going to ask Chief Gunther to read the proclamation and also maybe talk a little bit more about it.
Great. Thank you, Mayor. I'll read the proclamation first. So it's National Police Women Day 2023, which did occur on September 12th. Whereas National Police Women Day celebrates the contribution of female police officers who enforce law and order around the country, protecting the community and work to keep citizens safe. And whereas these brave women bring an invaluable set of skills to the work of protecting the community and to keep citizens safe. And whereas law enforcement is a profession that believes equality for all, does not discriminate based on race, age, religion, or gender. And whereas female law enforcement officers date back to 1891, yet nationally are only 10% of department personnel. And whereas celebrating National Police Women Day is an invitation to all women to consider a career in law enforcement. And now, therefore, I, Ronald J. Gunter, which is obviously you and not me, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of the Village of Westmont, along with the Westmont Village Board of Trustees, do hereby proclaim September 12th, 2023 as National Police Women Day in honor of the female officers of the Westmont Police Department.
Have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Little?
Second, Guzzo.
Motion made and seconded. Additional comments? Roll call, please.
Trustee Little,
Yes.
Trustee Brady,
Yes.
Trustee Nero,
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Motion passes, and I'll present you with the proclamation.
Awesome.
You want your picture taken?
No, you know what, just on the picture, we had, on September 12th, I took a picture of our 4 female officers, which was then posted to Facebook and got very good reviews. We had I think 223 likes as of the last, and that's, normally we'll average, 25, 50, but, clearly the community appreciates the contribution of our female officers, yes.
Michelle do most of them, or?
What's that?
Michelle, did she? do
Yeah,
most of them?
probably, 16 times, so.
Again, congratulations on the proclamation.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad it's the first time we've done it, so it's well worth the effort, and they do a fantastic job. We have a Sergeant Dominguez. She's our highest-ranking female officer, and has been with the department for 15 years.
Maybe next year, if we do it early enough, we could have a couple of those officers here.
Yes, I should have had that happen.
Well, that's all right.
Did you want a copy of this?
Yes, please.
Okay, will you,
All right, thank you, Chief. That concludes the consent agenda items. We'll move on to new business, a B1 development permit at 7 South Lincoln Street. Board to consider an ordinance approving a B1 development permit for Nathan McCalla. It's Shop for Less to operate a mini mart at 7 South Linden Street. And I know they're here, but Manager May?
Yeah, this evening, the community development's not available, but this is an item that, being a location in the central business district, requires that any business come in and apply for a B1 permit to operate, and they're here tonight to discuss or describe what their business is and what they hope to do and where. So introduce yourselves first, and then.
And again, it's right across the street from Village Hall.
Yeah, you spoiled it.
Yeah, my name is Elias Sefin. For the 7 Lincoln Street here, we plan to open a convenience store. The store to be convenient for the community around us here. It's no alcohol. It's a small store. There is no cooler or something for alcohol. It's only for tobacco, for Shipsy, not tobacco, for Shipsy, for candy, for the stuff to be convenient. The people go from the train or go to the train while they're walking. They can take the stuff with them or play a lottery or do whatever they like to be convenient for them here in the downtown.
So yeah, my name is Bishoy. This is my father-in-law. It's just gonna be a small convenience store. It's gonna be merchandise, just with like chips, candy. It'll be just something for the trainers that come out of the train, just stop by, pick something up. And we think it'll bring a nice traffic foot, since we have a nice community here, and Westmont's a respectful community. So we hope that you guys can approve it.
And hours?
It will be from 7 to 9, and we'll work 7 days a week. If we find that busy and you need more hours, we can still open until 10 or 11. But for start from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., we will have 4 employees, 2 employees full-time for the weekdays and 2 for the weekends for part-time.
Is there any coffee service with that? And I only ask because coffee?
No coffee.
Okay.
There is another store for coffee. But
Trustee Barker.
No coffee.
Is there tobacco involved in this?
No, no tobacco there.
No tobacco. Is that,
No, they don't have license for tobacco yet.
okay. And then the other question I guess it's more of a statement. Some convenience stores and the location there, once they find you, I think it'll be good. We have a pretty strict sign ordinance that you got to be able to see through the windows and all of that, and I hope that that's all followed. I know we'll enforce it, but I just want you to be aware of it. Once they find that your location, you'll have a business. But there's a lot of things that aren't allowed to do. One of them, I'm afraid, would be, covering windows and stuff like that with advertisement.
We wouldn't want to do that either, because you want the windows to be open so people can see what's inside the store. So
Some of us do, but others want their windows to blink.
Oh, yeah.
And all of that.
It's only will be the small sign for the lottery numbers. That's all the light. Maybe that's be there. But another thing, it's a small store. We need the people to see what we have inside, so they can come to us.
They are in
Terrific.
contact with community development.
I'm sure they are. I just feel better if I say it.
They're very much aware of no tobacco, no alcohol, and then that goes with vaping too. So it's all that, they're very much aware of it, so they're opening a traditional convenience store. Yes, Trustee?
I like the lottery ticket part, because I just read in the news today that convenience center in Morris, Illinois, which is about 40 minutes from here, somebody bought a $2 million ticket. So that lends back to the village.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hope to. We have someone.
We're going to count on that.
Yeah, we plan for this.
And again, I don't know if we'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve, Nero.
Second, Little?
Motion made in second. Any comments additional? Only thing I said, if you haven't met Larry Forsberg, who's back there, he's the director of the chamber. He's the one you want to get in contact with as far as exposure. But roll call, please.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Motion passes. When do you plan on opening?
15, October 15th.
Oh, great.
Well, ready.
Nice.
Welcome.
Right, we do. Yeah.
Good luck.
We be rent when we do money, so we can be.
Welcome, welcome. We look forward to seeing you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
What he didn't say is his wife is going to be really running the store.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Next item on new business, a resolution authorizing staff to apply for a Safe Routes to School grant. Board to consider resolution authorizing staff to apply for a Safe Routes to School grant to make safety improvements, including filling in sidewalk gaps, ADA ramps improvements in the vicinity of Westview Hills Middle School, as well as committing matching funds as required by the grant. We've got our Director of Public Works, Reese, to give us some additional information.
So this proposal is to fill in sidewalk gaps along 65th Street, 64th Street, Ridge Road, and Richmond Avenue, as well as associated ADA ramp improvements within the project limits. 20% of the total project cost, subject to the maximum federal match of 80% of project cost, not to exceed $250,000. So the maximum grant amount that we can get is $250,000, and we would have to commit to 20% of that at a minimum.
It'd be great to get it. Is that $250 per project or $250 through a community?
It's per project. So we can apply, there's funding cycles every 2 years that we can apply again.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve Barker.
Second Little?
Motion made second. Any additional comments? The only thing I would ask is that back in the 80s, is this the grant? I don't think that we turned down for Newfield Manor.
No, a different type of
That was
grant.
a different type. All right. We had the motion, roll call, please.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Motion passes, thank you. Moving on, interim finance director. Board to consider ordinance approving an agreement with GovTemps USA to provide an interim finance director services, and Assistant Manager Parker.
I'll cover both this and the next item kind of together. So as you're aware, our former finance director, Jamie Cunningham, is no longer with us. She's now at another municipality, and so now we need to fill the role of the finance director. In looking at the timing, both of our compensation study and then the holidays that will come kind of right after that compensation study is finalized, we feel that it makes the most sense to plan to publish for the position for finance director probably after the holidays, so in January. If we do that, we'd probably be getting a finance director probably end of April or so. And with that, that leaves us a gap in time between now and then, and so we're filling that position with an outside consultant. So through GovTemps, we've got someone named Nick Narducci who will be doing this. He brings a plethora of experience. He's been in the industry for many years and has been finance director in many different places and is able to, I think, really take on some of the things we've got coming up with some of our big challenges that we've got going, including the change of the fiscal year. So we're going to be working with him. That's the first item, item C. And then the next item, item D, comes because part of the finance director's job per our ordinance is to also serve as the village treasurer, which also makes them the pension treasurer. And per state statute, that includes being involved on some bank accounts. It's not best practice to have somebody as an interim on these bank accounts, and that candidate also indicated he would rather not have access to bank accounts other than to view what's going on at the banks. So because of that, the next item would be appointing a temporary or interim village treasurer for the duration of time until we do hire a new one. And the person that we are looking to put in as our village treasurer will be our current assistant finance director, Cindy Wester, who's been doing a great job of that and has already started taking on some of that, kind of learning from Jamie and attending some of the pension meetings.
And we have an expert on staff, finance director, right? That they can help this new temp guy?
Yes, so I think we're in a good spot. You know, Cindy's got a lot of the day-to-day operations of the department, and I've I'm familiar with the village and how it works for finances, been doing that for a while.
Yeah.
So we're able to provide him with some good support coming in on an interim basis.
Just flattering you, just in case.
Yeah, I was trying to, but.
Oh, sorry.
I
Got
do
a
need a
couple,
motion.
got a couple of weeks in. right?
Yeah, a motion for C, the interim finance director.
Motion to approve, Little?
Motion been made, second to approve. Any additional? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Little,
Yes.
trustee Brady,
Yes.
trustee Nero,
Yes.
trustee Barker,
Yes.
trustee Guzzo.
Motion passes. And going to new business D, appointment of village treasurer. I think Assistant Manager Parker explained it. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve Guzzo.
Second, Nero.
Motion made and second. Any additional questions? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Barker,
Yes.
trustee Little,
Yes.
trustee Brady.
Yes.
Motion passes. New business E, appointment of attorney. Board to consider a motion approving the mayor's appointment of John Semenak of the law office of John Semenak LLC as village attorney. And I guess I'm going to turn to Attorney Semenak, who has been a village attorney for 20-plus years now.
Yeah, 23 years, I believe.
I turn it over to you.
Well, I sent an email explaining this, but I've, in the process of leaving my firm and opening up my own law firm, and that will allow me to devote nearly 100% of my time to representing the village, along with a couple other smaller clients, and I'm excited about it. And since it's a change from my current firm, I've asked the mayor to reappoint me, and any appointment or reappointment requires your consent, so that's why it's on the agenda.
And we couldn't be happier to get more service. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve, Little?
Second, Nero.
Not that we weren't happy before, but we'll be. I
Ecstatic
think
now.
the planner is going to be really happy to have you here, but
We'd be happy if you had an office in Westmont.
it might be pretty soon here. Any other comments? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Little,
Yes.
trustee Brady,
Yes.
trustee Simonovich. Oh, I'm sorry, she's absent. Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Moving on, that motion passed. Any miscellaneous? If not, I do need to have we do have one.
Just a really quick reminder that this Sunday, the Chamber and the Park District will be having the Pets in the Park, and the touch truck was rained out last weekend, so I just want a reminder that it starts at 11 a.m. and goes to 2 p.m. at beautiful Taiwan Park.
It was a good call.
It was a good call, and if we can find our legal counsel office in West Nile, I'll be happy to help.
All right, moving on, I do need to have an executive session tonight for these three following topics. The employment and performance of specific employees of the village pursuant to Section 2C1 of the Open Meetings Act. Second item is discuss pending litigation between the village and OSHA pursuant to Section 2C11 of the Open Meetings Act. And the third item is a review of executive session minutes pursuant to Section 2C21 of the Open Meetings Act that we do semi-annually. So I need a motion to adjourn executive session for those three topics.
Motion to adjourn into executive session for those three reasons. Nero.
Second, Little?
Motion made and seconded. Roll call, please.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to go into executive session. When we come out, there will not be any further business for the regular meeting. So at this point, I want to thank everybody for attending. Thank you.
Is this good?